Stan Jabalisco here with take 4 of the Quadratic Equations video series. You may remember from the second video in this series, the quadratic equation minus 10x squared plus 40x minus 40 equals 0. We started with these two factors and said, what if they're equal to 0 when you multiply them? These two binomial factors, 2x minus 4, that quantity, times minus 5x plus 10, that quantity equals 0. And we went ahead and multiplied that out, and we got this quadratic equation where a equals minus 10, b equals plus 40, or just 40, I guess you might say, and c equals minus 40 in the general form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Now there's something very interesting about this quadratic. You may notice that it's not in its lowest form. We can actually divide the whole thing through by 10. And if we do that, we get minus x squared. Now that doesn't look like a square, does it? Try harder. Plus 40 divided by 10, 4x minus 4 equals 0. That's exactly the same equation with the same single solution, x equals 2. But if you multiply these two factors together, you aren't going to get that. In fact, if you try to factor this, you're going to get something with fractions in it, and it's going to be a mess. But we can use those values for a, b, and c because it's the exact same equation. And that'll make our quadratic formula a lot easier. That's right, I'm going to show you the quadratic formula and how we can use that to solve this equation. Now once again, now we have a equals minus 1, b equals 4, and c equals minus 4. So if we take the quadratic formula, what we're going to get is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of the quantity b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now let's do a little trick here. Let's multiply this whole equation right here through by negative 1. You'll find out why I'm doing that in just a minute. Then we get x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. In that case, then a becomes minus 1. Pardon me, a becomes 1. B becomes minus 4. And c becomes simply 4. X squared plus 4x plus 4. Now let's plug that in to this equation and see what we get. Negative b, what is that? Well, b is already minus 4, so negative b is 4. Plus or minus the square root of b squared. What's that? Well, negative 4, the quantity negative 4 squared is 16. 4a minus 4ac. What is 4ac? 4 times 1 times 4. That's 4 times 4, or 16. Oops, well, we'll get that back. 16 minus 16. Aha! That quantity, the discriminant, right there, under the square root sign, is 0. That tells us right straight away, that we're going to get only one real number solution to this equation. And what we can do, because we got the square root of 0, just get rid of that. What's 2a? Well, a is 1, so 2a is 2. X equals 4 divided by 2. I actually got it right. I actually did arithmetic without making a mistake. X equals 2, a single solution to this quadratic equation. And that agrees with what we got in part 2 of this whole movie. I didn't want to throw it all at you at once. I mean, you're going to have to sit there for half an hour and listen to me yammer. I don't think anybody in the world could do that. Not even me. But 6 minutes or something like that, you can live with that, can't you? Well, if you can't, you're not going to get the wonderful information that you will have gotten by watching all 4 parts of this video sequence. Stan Gibilisco signing off. Till next time, so long.